Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is April 18th, 2025. The time is about 13 minutes until 8 p.m. It's Friday. Good Friday. And the other day, last night I heard somebody had been clocked, which to me means they'd been transported through time and locked into a place. I was trying to remember the 3 R words that I had been given, and during that time I heard resurrection. So it appears to me this is Good Friday, and something may be happening by the 20th, which is Sunday. Let's tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us this afternoon. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit. What storyline would you like to share with the collective, please? Storyline for the collective, please. In the central energy. In the central energy, we've got the 5 of Wands. There's a lot of tension and conflict. Tensions are high. In the challenge position, this card wanted to come out too. We've got a mother, a supportive mother, and then we've got the 10 of Cups. It could be that there is a protectress here or a working parent, somebody whose maternal instincts are here regarding divine love, whether it be her own or perhaps one of her children. Take it as it resonates. Whoa, in the subconscious, we've got the 4 of Cups reversed, which is retreat or withdrawal. They may not want to be involved in this anymore. Maybe they've reached a sudden awareness regarding this and they don't want to fight anymore. In the recent past, King of Cups. So there could be a fella out here who is, he could be teaching people about love, about this 10 of Cups. Showing compassion to those who have been fighting and competing with this. He may have brought clarity to what they've been doing. So now they are checking in for a realignment. Maybe they're wanting to withdraw from this fight. Choose happiness. Intentions and expectations, please, Spirit. We've got the King of Cups here, and then we've got 6 of Swords in the reversed. So there's resistance to change. Emotional baggage. In the near future, we've got the Ace of Swords. So there is a lot of truth and clarity here. The lens it's being looked through. Tower. Somebody's experiencing a tower. Gaining a sudden insight. The truth is exposed. They got a lot of emotional baggage. King of Cups is showing compassion here, but there is a tower here. Somebody's having a disaster. We've got strength here, courage and strength. Again, with the compassion. compassion, compassion. Hopes and fears. 3 of Pentacles. Everything is coming together. Long-term goals. And the outcome, please, Spirit. That one just kind of fell out. I'm going to put it back. Well, somebody's in a 9 of Swords. Somebody's in a nightmare. They're in despair. Because they're getting cut out. They're getting divorced out. And now they're weighing their options. They may have to manage a whole lot of responsibilities. Because we got a new beginning. Your new beginning is bringing them a painful ending. Maybe they feel betrayed by the Queen of Cups. She's having a new beginning, and because she's having a new beginning and walking off, taking her love and her nurturing and all of that away, they're losing it, man, because she's got a different she's the abundance that they need, and now they're in fear because they're getting left behind. So the divine feminine is like, I'm not dealing with you anymore. She's got a whole nother thing going on here. She's out of there. And these ones, the truth is out. So 5 of Wands energy, petty ego, conflict. I don't like your perspective of reality. Okay, so they want to beat you up. They want to hurt you. They want to belittle you. They want to make you seem stupid because they don't like your perspective of reality. So they go around and glorify themselves while making up horrible stories. So there's conflict and rivalry. But you never gave up hope. Queen of Pentacles here is a supportive, working parent, a reliable, she could be a protectress regarding divine love and blissful relationships. She could be like a mother figure. This one came out in the reverse. We've got neglected in the reverse. Yeah, so these 10 of Cups unions will not be full of neglect, not like these ones have wanted. And they're fighting that because they know that this is coming up, and they didn't want it to happen. They're under an illusion or a delusion. See, if this happens, then you'll get nothing. When all they had to do was stop fighting and just be love, man. Checking in for realignment. Withdrawing. Maybe they're choosing happiness. Hold up. Card drop. We got values, money in the reverse. Checking in for realignment. They might be wanting to flip their values. They don't have any values. King of Cups. Well, he's emotionally balanced, but we've got broken and feeling shattered about this too. So we'll get some more clarification there. It is a king, and then there's a woman here. It could be that there's a woman here that is broken and shattered because the intention is this 6 of Swords in the reverse. So, delayed plans. It could be that he's not getting in this boat with her, that he's not going anywhere with her. Conversation. Delayed plans. They want to call, they want to have a conversation. We've got the Ace of Swords here. It's the truth is out, and we've got somebody who doesn't know what they're going to do about it. We still got liars and freaking doppeldanking little hoe bags out there messing around with the Kings of Cups. who are trying to come together with decent people. We've got a Tower here. Sudden release. Their truth is out. They're indecisive. They don't know what to do. The Tower is here and a destiny. So there is a sudden, there's chaos for somebody's destiny. Somebody's being released. Something's being released. Massive change is happening to somebody's destiny that was struggling to find the right path. They were struggling to steal your destiny. And so now they're having a Tower. Why? Because you're courageous and strong. You're cool under pressure. Cool under pressure. Absence. They're feeling your absence. We do have the Three of Pentacles here and reciprocity. There could be a team here getting what they gave. There could be a team here that is returning negative juju. We're going to have to get more clarification. Somebody's in a Nine of Swords with despair over families coming together. They didn't want this to happen. Over responsibilities in families. Maybe they're worried and in fear for what they did to families. They're having a nightmare. The financial and emotional needs, their responsibilities, they did not honor their responsibilities. They're guilty. They didn't honor. They were unsatisfied with the soul contract. They were guilty. So they were chasing this and chasing that. And that's the truth. Out there being a little hoe bag. And now there's unfinished business. This is an unexpected outcome. They've got habitual patterns. They'll never change. And now they're being held back because they're being seen as unworthy. And it's too late for them to do anything. They're getting detached. So they're not able to take part in kingdom unions. They're getting divorced out of here. They got to go manage their own damn self. So, yeah. It's territorial. They were fighting you and this Ten of Cups here, union. They wanted the wealth that you were going to produce in this union or gather in this union. They didn't care about your love or the children or the family tree or what you were going to build in the community. They didn't give a shit about any of that. They just wanted the money and the property, and then they wanted to rock around the world like they were something special. Creating more war in the world, stealing people's property. So we've got, they're in disagreement, they're in conflict, they have hope, they're reaching out, trying to connect, they're having anxiety, they don't know what's going to happen next. Somebody, this person here is fighting to be with this King of Cups, but they're a warmonger. There's no love in them. They're a competitor, you know? They don't want you to be with the sweet girl. They want you to be with the cruel girl and give her your reward. We got a Queen of Pentacles here. She's a supportive mother figure. Wise regarding this divine love. There's no neglect here. They won't be full of neglect. And that's what this person is. She just wants the money. Look, we got tangled. It could be that there's no more neglect. These people who were in conflict and competition that failed to give you what you needed, they can't come. They're not able to come here because they're tangled up. That they can't get themselves free. They're not able to neglect you because they got themselves tangled up. We got withdrawal, retreat. They did not get the money. They don't share the same values. Rabbit hole. They're in a crazy drama. King of Cups is emotionally balanced and compassionate. He knows what's going on. And there's a feminine here who's feeling broken about this situation. She had hope that she could just take on his love cup and call it her own and bring it to the dark side. So we've got the Six of Swords in the reverse. It's resistance to change. She wants to talk to him. He's not in the boat with her. He doesn't want to go. He's in control of himself. He's emotionally balanced. Look, many flames. She could have put many flames there. She wants to, or maybe she's talking. Oh, that's a personal transition to the dark side for this feminine. And she's having conversation with the many flames that she had martyred into the dark, most likely. She can't have this King of Cups, though, because he's healed. That's what's happening to her. The truth is out. Because he's healed and he survived what she was trying to put him in the dark, his flame. And now she doesn't know what to do because people can see the truth of it. And she's not being supported. She could be struggling. It could be that people know that she wasn't able to make a decision, that she did not support him. The truth is out here. And there's a tower for this person's destiny. Yeah, they're getting released here. They've got chaos in the future destiny, a very rough road. So you are strong, and you are, it's a subtle power, and they're really feeling your absence. They're grieving. They're grieving the absence of your strength and your compassion. There's a team here with reciprocity. They're looking to escape. They're getting what they gave. Whoever worked against this person, they're getting reciprocity here, equal give and take, and they want to escape. They were using love as an escape. They're in despair regarding what they did to families and the responsibilities that they held for the children. It was all about money for them. They wanted the finances. They wanted their emotional needs taken care of while they screwed up everybody else's. Played everybody's heartstrings. Tried to break them. She might be getting mental disturbances from these many flames that are talking to her. We've got adrift. Yeah. So they're in despair regarding responsibilities because they weren't really willing to settle down and be responsible. So now they're in a nightmare. It's like you didn't want it. So now you can't have it. There's a 10 of Cups union here. You can't have it. You're not able to bring your neglect here. You're tangled up in this sticky situation in the dark where you owe it light. And you keep feeding it people who love you. And you got to face it. And they're looking for an exit plan. They broke every promise that they made. They fed those who loved them and have love in them to the freaking dark side. Many flames. And now they're getting talked to. They can't get in that boat and get away. They're getting talked to. And it's fierce. Neglect. Fierce neglect. The many flames that this person put in the dark. You know what? They're talking to this person. They're talking to her. Unfinished business. She's not going anywhere. She owes a debt to love. She's got to go deal with those many flames that she put in the dark there. That's terrible. That's terrible. Terrible. Oh, she wanted this King of Cups. She messed him up. Really messed him up. Probably caused him a lot of suffering. Fighting with him, trying to get his stuff, trying to take his love, trying to get whatever reward he got for coming through this war with love still in him. Conflict to those two who hadn't given up on each other yet. Now they're having anxiety. They're reaching out, trying to connect. They're in fear. They're having anxiety. Queen of Pentacles is here. She could be protecting these 10 of Cups. Nobody who neglected anybody at all can take part in this. They're unable to free themselves from whatever it is they got themselves tied up in with this dark side, the many flames, this spider web, this rabbit hole. Look, you're free. You're free. They're tangled up. They can't free themselves, but you are. You possess the power and the free will to create your own happiness, and you are. These people got to withdraw. They got to retreat. They didn't get the money. They got themselves stuck in a rabbit hole. They have no peace. They're in fear. Why? Because you did not give up on each other. King of Cups and whoever his person is, they didn't give up on each other. They did not give up hope for this. And so he's balanced. And this person is in a crazy drama, a crazy rabbit hole, because he didn't take South Node. He didn't go to South Node. Look, they can't bring him any more adversity. No more adversity. They're stuck in the rabbit hole. They can't bring any more adversity. They didn't get the money. Because the King of Cups is emotionally balanced and, in control of himself. And he's also supporting others. She's broken and shattered. And she's stuck in the dark. Under judgment. Under judgment. She's not releasing any baggage. She's still there. She can't get in that boat and move on. She's getting conversation from the many flames that she transitioned into the dark side already. Purpose. They now have a purpose. They know what they're here to do. They got to deal with this person here. She stole the purpose of many flames. They're really pissed off. The truth is out here. They don't know what to do. We got struggle. They're not being supported, and we got courage in the reverse. They don't have any courage. The Tower is here. A sudden change for their destiny. It's going to be real rocky. King of Cups is like, you're out of here. Look, surrender. There's no surrender. They're suffering a Tower. It has been a real rough road for you, but you did not surrender. So the Tower is hitting them and their destiny. You're strong, King of Cups. I'm guessing this is you. You're very strong. They're feeling your absence and they're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had planned, and they have no balance. They were meaning to take your strength and your love and stick you in the dark. They're under judgment for that. You could be calling judgment. We've got success. So there's a whole team here getting reciprocity, getting what they gave. They were using love as an emotional escape. And or you could say that you have a team, that you have alliances here that are doing equal give and take, and they're offering you an escape here. That love, because you are a being of love, that you will escape successfully. These people, you're very strong and courageous here. There's a whole group of people here. Somebody's feeling your absence and grieving. They're out of balance and in despair here regarding what they did with this responsible family unit. They weren't willing to settle down or be responsible or commit and put down roots. They weren't willing to do any of that, and yet they're out there manipulating people emotionally for money. They have no discipline. They're a weed seed. They weren't into responsible family units. They can't take part in this new chapter because they've proven very clearly who and what they are and what their values are. They want forgiveness here. You preserved or persevered, and you are sharing the truth. You know what the truth is, and they're in grief because they're being found guilty. They're under judgment. It's like, look, what the heck, man? They thought it was funny to leave you alone, to contract with you, to take all your stuff, including your happiness, and to leave you alone. And during that time, you realize that you were never really alone and that you were attracted to relationships that serve your higher interest. It could be that that's where you developed your relationship with the divine. And they failed. They failed to move against you because you are a being of love, and you know that there's no greater goal than to love, and they just have to accept the things that they cannot change. They were trying to they were trying to blame you, but you honor your physical vessel, and and you care about yourself. You care about your life. You want to live, and they wanted you to suffer, and then, forever they wanted you to suffer. That's just terrible, man. And now they have the nerve to feel broken and shattered and be in despair. They never cared. They just wanted the land. They just wanted the money. While he never gave up hope for a faithful union. They're in fear, having anxiety. They're reaching out, trying to connect. They're not getting any good news. No miracle for them. Queen of Pentacles is here. She could be guarding this Ten of Cups union. She may have a son or a daughter that is involved in this, and she's ensuring that you are going to be free here. Or maybe this is her union that this chick is trying to horn in on. Take it as it resonates. She's got freedom and triumph here. So these ones are, they got to withdraw. They did not get the money. They cannot bring you any more adversity. They're stuck in a rabbit hole. They have no peace. Libation. They could be praying. They may be religious. King of Cups is in total self-control. Whoops. And this woman is feeling broken and shattered about the situation. They're stuck in the dark side. They're under judgment, fate, for messing around with people's fates, for messing around with people's lives, with fortune telling, for abusing divination tools to screw with people's lives. They're not getting in the boat. They're not leaving behind the baggage. They have to carry it around. They're having conversations with the many flames whose purpose that they stole. Putting them in the dark side, stole their purpose, and then wandered around pretending like that was their purpose, and it just wasn't so. They're being stopped. Or, the many flames whose purpose they stopped. This person is not in a good way. The truth is out. They don't know what to do. They're not being supported. They don't have any courage. They're being separated from union. They can't be messing around with anybody anymore. There's a tower here. For their destiny, they're having a tower in their new chapter. Their destiny is a big time tower and a rocky road. And there's no surrender because you did not surrender. They want to apologize. You didn't surrender. They refused to surrender their need to control you. They want to apologize. They're trying to confess. Your strength allowed you to persevere through this, and now they're feeling your absence and grieving. They're out of balance. It didn't work out the way they planned. They thought for sure that they could crush you and leave you trapped forever and ever and ever in a field of suffering. And now they want to come out here and say, oh, I'm sorry. No, you persevered. So they have no balance now, and they're feeling your absence because you persevered. You're too strong, and you took that strength and you said, sayonara. We got a team collaborating here for equal give and take. It could have afforded you, this love could have afforded you an escape, because you know that there's no greater goal than to love. You're a good moral human. You've earned a lot of merit. Yeah, your team is here with you. You're very strong. So these people are in despair because they ignored their responsibilities regarding families. They weren't willing to settle down or be responsible or put down roots. They have no discipline whatsoever. They were very indulgent. They took your health, your wealth, your finances, all of the stuff that you had to offer, and they went and partied and acted like they were Miss Little Princess or whatever, and they simply weren't. They were loyal to the dark side, and they put many, many flames there, and they stopped many, many people's purpose. They're here to do for a purpose, and this person was martyring them to the dark side. Delaying their purpose, ending their purpose, making it so they could not do what their mission for birthing into this realm was. This person interfered in many destinies for money. The family is lucky. They've got this reward. They've got this reward. And those people who were trying to rob you are very stressed out. That's up there. There's conversation with the many flames. So there's all that conversation happening in this person's head right now. They've got one on one side and one on the other. They don't know what to do. They're very worried. Their mind, this says mind reading, this was their strategy to cause natural disasters and to bully people in their mind, and now they're receiving that same thing. They're having a freaking nightmare because they were messing around with somebody who loves themselves, a sweetheart, and now they're having sweet dreams. They're having sweet dreams. These people were tempted to move against you for money. They just prostituted themselves for gain, and they didn't give a crap about love or what they could build with love. They just wanted to take what love had to offer and then squash it and go out and have a great time and F this and F that and drink this and snort that on the freaking witness stand. I've seen some of them do, and it's crazy. You're okay. You're very stable. You've reached your goals. You're at the top of that mountain. You're doing well. You got to where you were going, despite the fact all these liars were in your face, pretending to be the one that you never gave up hope for. And now they got to get ready because there's preparations. They're in a trap, bound to their commitments, and they got to get ready here. They thought it was a great idea, or there's some really great vital force running here. Like this is the solar plexus, and that's a huge white halo. Big, big ideas. We got a lot of vital force here. This is a family tree. It could be fairly new, but there's a great beginning here. Lots of creativity. The origin. You've lived and learned. You trained. This could have been training for you. And these ones are being unfreedomed. While this is the conclusion. It's the end, and you've won. You've won. And they're frightened. Those who are prideful, they are frightened because their job, their profession was to create conflict using magic. And they did it all the time. It probably did curse. They cursed a lot of people's marriages. And this one as well. They're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. They were trying to make eternal love blind and then dominate it. This is what they were doing. Oh, for money, for cars, for houses. They're protesting now because you're withdrawing the blessing. You're not going to do anything with the blessing, the love and the balance, the inner harmony, all that good stuff that you had to offer. You're taking it and you're going away. And now they're sick. They're disappointed. They're endangered. They're alone. And you know what they did. And this card also says a reunion. So because it could be a reunion now of those who are the gift. Delight. You could look, you're coming together with someone who actually cares about family. And you're going to have a business together. And you're a gift to the world. You're going to help people. You're going to help people with their mind. You could help them deal with loss. Strengthen themselves. You know, that's one reason why I thought, kids ought to have a fish or a bird or something, so that when it's time for it to transition, they can be taught how to manage themselves in a circumstance that includes loss of a loved one. So it doesn't happen to them later in life and then they flip out on everybody in deep pain that they can't manage. Alrighty then, so we'll do one more pass here. We got this person, this woman here, fighting for this territory. Look, sweetheart. So they were trying to compete for the position of this sweetheart in this relationship or marriage or whatever that this King of Cups had coming to him. They were wanting to be a rival. They're in fear and anxiety. They don't know what's going to happen. They're reaching out, trying to connect. They're not getting good news. No miracle for you. The soldier is not going to be soldiering. No more warring. You're not going to do it. Nope. Soldier is down. The soldier is down. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here, guarding divine love. It's like, this is like the entryway, the gate. It's like, thou shalt not pass. Nobody who neglected the needs of anybody is going to come past here. They're unable to free themselves and they're just not going to get in. You've got your freedom here and you triumph over it. They're not going to get in. You never gave up hope. You got freedom and you triumph. They wanted to commit conflict. They neglected you and they're not going to do that anymore. They're stuck in the web that they weaved. Stuck in the web that they weaved. And you're getting blissful, beautiful love. Blissful, beautiful love is what you're getting. We got merchant. Merchant. So because you win, they owe this merchant. See, the dark side, oh man. I don't even want to get into that. Okay, anyway, they have to withdraw. They didn't get the money. They can't bring any more adversity. They're stuck in a crazy drama there. They got themselves in a rabbit hole with this merchant here. They could be religious. They might be trying to pray. Look, sweetheart. They were wanting, the sweetheart came out again. This sweetheart that the King of Cups was destined to be with, that had hope for. This feminine here was trying to interfere and deliver this King of Cups, or the sweetheart, I don't know. I think she was trying to deliver this King of Cups to the dark side, and they're feeling broken and shattered because this sweetheart is right here. It could be, that, I don't know, the sweetheart's right here. Maybe it's his prayer. He hadn't given up on it. Maybe the sweetheart is the prayer that he was praying for. Faithful, constant, consistency. And I heard that some time ago. When they were doing a lot of research with the doppelgangers, one of the things that they were instructed to look for, the team, I guess, that was looking, because there was a lot of doppelgangers, and they had to do a lot of research on a lot of different folks because there were a lot of them. And they had to look at the consistency, throughout time, not just in the moment, but throughout the history. And then they could see very well who was what. And I don't know how they did it, but they had to research and determine and then verify. Research, determine, and verify over and over and over and over and over again. It lasted quite a while. But the King of Cups is in control. He's very emotionally balanced. He knows what's going on. Look, this person, this woman is feeling broken and shattered about the situation. She's in the dark here, the dark side. She's bound to it. She's tangled up in it. She's under judgment for stealing people's fates for pleasure. This person was delaying the purpose of people so that they could take their good ideas, their intellectual property, and everything that they came here into the realm with, spiritual inheritance, in order to birth into this experience. They stole it from them and then just squandered it and ran around like they were some sexy mama or whatever, when they're just a tramp, sacrificing light and cutting people's game off before they even had a chance to begin. This is bad. They're not in a boat. They're having conversations with the many flames that they put in that dark side and that they stopped the purpose of. They not only stopped the purpose of them, they knew what they were here to do. And this person stopped it by putting them in the dark. They're surprised. There's something coming up out of the water. The truth is out. They don't know what to do. They're struggling. They're not being supported. They don't have any courage. They're being separated from the gift. They're separated from the gift. They could be losing their gifts, whatever gifts they had to do this nefarious, troublemaking bullpucky. They could be losing them. Only because I see separate here. I see separate. So they don't have any courage. They're losing their gifts. They're in a tower. For their destiny is a tower. There's a rough road ahead of them because they refuse to surrender. They want to apologize. It could be a young woman. We've got strength. You're strong. You're focused, and they're feeling your absence. They're grieving and they're out of balance because you persevered death. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. And you came out shining, strong. And now they're feeling your absence and they're grieving. They have no balance because they lost you. You overcame death. King of Cups. You overcame death and you never gave up hope here with your sweetheart, your faithful, constant sweetheart that you were praying for. Wow. So we got Three of Pentacles here, a whole team with long-term goals, reciprocity. But we've got money in the reverse. So yeah. Security, reciprocity, equal give and take, escape. You may have escaped. You're successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. You are a good, moral, kind human. You've earned merit here. There could be a team wanting to escape reciprocity because you're a being of love. They weren't able to get your money. They're in despair over what they did to families that had children, not willing to settle down or be responsible. I think they did magic on the minds of the people in order to break up marriages, in order to extract the wealth out of it, to stop their path, their purpose, and then to indulge on their happiness and on their energy that they sacrificed into this dark space, these many flames. Oh, there's centuries of people that they did this to, but we've got somebody here who persevered, who overcame death. Room in the reverse. The room card is the mind. It's the room of the mind. That's the way I read it. And we've got old woman in the reverse. Which is, to me, that speaks of a shapeshifter. One of those really old ladies who can make themselves look young and voluptuous. You know, a Jezebel? That's a Jezebel. So she can no longer get into the room, into the minds of the people. She's losing her gifts. She's being separated out of her gifts. And we got widower. They may have lost their spouse. Somebody lost their wife. They're sighing. They're sighing. There may be a friend bringing flowers, a servant accepting a message about a reunion. They're very haughty. They're very arrogant, this scholar. And now they're in prison, a thought prison. They could be in a thought prison. Like their mind may be just melting or whatever. And you've got joyfulness and cheerfulness here. You're very happy. While this false enemy is suffering melancholy. Because you've got a beautiful lover here. You're a lover of beauty. And we got a thief. The thief that was bringing misfortune to love, or whoever was stealing love is suffering a misfortune. They're sick. So whatever the energy of love, they were stealing it, man. They would get people to fall in love with them, and then they would steal the energy. It seems to be a habitual pattern among witches and wizards and warlocks and stuff. I don't think all of them do this kind of a thing. There seems to be a particular tribe or a particular whatever you want to call it. I don't know, man. But I really think this became a habitual pattern for whoever they are. I heard somebody say a few nights ago, one masculine was saying, why would anybody effing do that? And another masculine said, well, it became a pattern. It became a normal thing. So it's like people would get married and then they would sacrifice their spouse to the dark side and then take the house and the car and the bank account and all that. And that's just became a normal thing. That's what they did. And apparently that's being stopped. Why? Because this King of Cups overcame death with strength. And he never gave up hope for his sweetheart, his faithful, consistent sweetheart that he was praying for. Well, and there's victory over this merchant, you know, whoever this merchant, this broken and shattered woman, she's a merchant. She made a deal with the buying and selling, you know. There's a new, they've got signatures of people who were buying and selling humans. There's a list of signatures and stuff. At least I heard the curator talking about it. They were upset that they had found a list and there were signatures. Like every transaction had a signature to it. So anybody that has been involved in that are discovered by whoever it is that discovers and then I don't know, researches and nullifies the process or whatever. I don't know. Anyhow, this is what I got for you, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.